SateLife。
地球の皆さん、こんにちは。SateLifeの田中です。今はドイツにあるエアバス社にやってきています。今日はここでEarthCARE衛星の機体公開のイベントが実施されています。で、なんと今日は ESA のプロジェクトマネージャーをされているデュークさんに来ていただいています。なので今日はEarthCAREについてデュークさんにいろいろと聞いていきたいと思います。Hi Dirk san, thank you for giving us this special opportunity to interview you. And firstly, could you introduce yourself?
Thank you. Yes, I'm Dirk Bernaerts. I'm the project manager of EarthCARE at the European Space Agency. And I'm doing this since 3 years, since 2020.
Can you share your story with EarthCARE?
Okay, so I was not in EarthCARE for the biggest part of the project. I joined in 2020 when the previous project manager retired. And before I knew EarthCARE as a big mission, as an important mission, but also as a mission with a lot of problems to solve. And then I came into the project and I was very impressed and very surprised to find a super nice mission, a very good team, very good cooperation with our colleagues in Japan and with JAXA and industry. And if you look around, you've seen the people today here as well. Everyone is very, very excited about this mission. And this is really, really nice to come into a project like that and then being able to bring it to as close as we are now today, which is the launch. And this has been a very exciting time for me.
Thank you so much. So the EarthCARE mission is the biggest Earth Explorer mission. And what were the challenges or complexities of building such a big satellite?
Okay, the complexities are multiple. First of all, we have very challenging technology on board that is new, was new certainly when we started, and to prove that this technology will work in orbit, because we cannot go up to repair something. It needs to be proven, and to make it work was very, very challenging. And one of them was, for instance, the Athlete, which is our laser, UV laser. To make it reliable and working was really an adventure, let's say, and a challenge. It's also 4 instruments that have to work together. And that brings the next challenge. The challenge is, if one has a problem, what is the implication on the other? Or how do we work together? How can we make it as one system that works all towards the mission objective? So that is also a challenge. And then we had more challenges due to the duration of the development, which have caused quite a number of events in the world, that happened in the world, in Japan, in Europe, worldwide, that had an impact on the development. And I'm thinking, for instance, the earthquake and tsunami in Japan had some consequences. We had the COVID pandemic, but now most recently we had also the consequence of the war in Ukraine, which resulted that the launcher was not available anymore for EarthCARE, and we had to switch launch, and this also had brought extra complication, extra need for time, etc. But the nice thing about EarthCARE is that we, as a team, and with JAXA, together with JAXA, we managed to overcome all those problems and make it now ready for flight.
Thank you so much. So the EarthCARE is the first joint Japan and Europe ESA and JAXA joint mission, Earth observation satellite mission. So can you provide comments on the importance of cooperation between Europe and Japan, as you mentioned a bit already, but can you comment?
No, so it's very important, and a cooperation is very successful if you take the strengths of both sides and you can mix it in a way that you make the benefit of that. Cooperation is not always easy because you have to adapt, you have to learn your partner in the cooperation, you have to see how to work together, you have to understand also if there are, you had to have understandings with us when we had problems, we had to understand you when there were other problems. But cooperation, when you can bring the best out of all the parties together, it's important. And on EarthCARE, this is really happening. So we have the cloud profiling radar, which comes from Japan, from JAXA, and your industry together with all your scientific knowledge and the knowledge of your scientific teams, you bring that together with our groups and our scientists and our industry. And this grouping together will make this incredible EarthCARE mission, which the worldwide scientific community is really awaiting for and is really keen on getting the data. And we will bring it to launch together.
Thank you. So this is the last question. So what message would you like to share with younger generation aspiring to work this space exploration field or like a big satellite stuff?
Okay, no, this is something that is really very close to my heart to encourage young people to think about going into this kind of careers. If you look, when you work on a complex project like EarthCARE, every day you have to deal with problems, you have to solve problems, you have to do that. But if you are doing another job, you have to do the same. You also have to deal with problems, you also have to solve that. You have to work together, you have to solve your challenges and go forward. But when you're working for space, there is this extra dimension. It comes, you know that what you're working for is going to help society to understand how the world, how climate works, how what we can do to deal with it or to cope with it in a way. So you are working on topics which have a much wider context and are really interesting for a lot of people. Secondly, and this is more personally, if you work on satellites, you know that what you're building for is going to fly in space, and it takes in less than 2 hours, it will go around the Earth. Can you have something more incredible to work on than that? And this is really inspiring if you keep that in mind and you see it throughout the whole team. Everyone, you have your daily challenges that you are overcoming, but this very natural thing of working with a big team, with very international team together. We are an example here on topics which are important for mankind, for society, and this special thing, space is still something special. So I really encourage everyone who is interested in to try and to go for it.
Thank you so much. I was actually very inspired by your message. So thanks again for giving us this time for interview, and thank you for sharing your great insights about EarthCARE and ESA observation satellite.
Okay, you're welcome. You're very welcome, and thank you for being here, and that we have worked together with all of you to make this great mission a success. So thanks for that.
最後まで見ていただきありがとうございました。もし少しでも面白いとか思っていただけたら、もしくはその宇宙業界で働いてみたいなとか思った方がもしいたら、ぜひ高評価ボタンとチャンネル登録をどうぞよろしくお願いします。では最後にデュークさんと一緒にあれやっときますか。3、2、1、サテライフ。